Hello. So I just got laid off for the first time in my life. I'm really, really sad. I really liked my job. I worked for the Kroger main offices in Portland, Oregon. And they're doing a restructuring. And it's not personal, I guess. My boss is not happy. But it hurts. It's not like I did something wrong. Anyways, so that's how my morning's going. I really, really liked what I was doing. And I did my best.
So maybe some of you or one of you might have been come across media, but Kroger is closing because first thing first, Kroger is the one of the biggest marketing area in the US.
Kroger is the largest supermarket chain in the US. It had over $113 billion in revenue in the first 9 months of 2022. Its CEO, Rodney McMillan, makes over $18 million annually. Now, Kroger workers allege that the company is engaged in massive systemic wage theft. In 2022, Kroger, the largest supermarket chain in the country, launched MyTime, a new payroll system. Glitches with MyTime have resulted in a host of problems, including missing pay and incomplete checks. Quote, "I'm tired of having to beg for pay that's due to me," one Kroger worker told us. Multiple Kroger associates have told Popular Information that they've missed rent payments and bills, overdrawn bank accounts, or been forced to take out loans due to missing or reduced pay. On January 19th, a group of associates from Virginia and West Virginia filed a lawsuit against the grocery store, alleging that their employer has engaged in a widespread wage theft, resulting from repeated and ongoing problems with payroll. The problems with Kroger extend far beyond Virginia and West Virginia. Lawsuits have also been filed in Washington State, Oregon, and Ohio. Kroger workers are already a low-wage and vulnerable population. A 2022 study found about 75% of Kroger workers across 3 regions said they were food insecure, and about 14% said they were homeless or had been homeless in the previous year. One worker told Popular Information that they had been evicted after not receiving a paycheck for several weeks. Unfortunately, the experience of Kroger workers is not atypical. The Economic Policy Institute estimates that more than $50 billion in wages are stolen from workers per year. The amount of money stolen from workers by their employers exceeds the value of stolen goods in all property crimes combined, according to the latest FBI statistics.
And now it's closing because there is no, I guess there is no thing to sell to the people. So tell me, if you are out there, you are only one human being, you are lacking a job, and Kroger is closing. So, like roughly, even 1K people are going to lose their job because of why? There's no work. Because if Kroger is closing almost 60 shops in the country.
Y'all, I don't think I would ever in my life shop at another Kroger after today. I was just humiliated. Y'all. And I will drop the location of the Kroger in the comments so you all know not to ever go to this location again. Guys, if you don't know, then I'm a single mom, okay? And I'm going through a situation where I don't really have a home. Me and my son are living in a transitional housing place right now. Literally, I'm out here right now. So I was door dashing this morning and I had to give me and my son some food, and DoorDash was pretty slow. So by the time I got some food and I pulled up to the gas station, I only had $7 and like 56 cents, 62 cents, something like that. Guys, I've never been so humiliated in my life. I went to the gas attendant and I asked her, "Hey, can you charge me $7.62 on pump 11, please?" She looked at me and said, "$7.62? I said, "Yes, $7.62. She said, and started typing. So in my head, I'm like, why are you doing all of this? Like, what? Then after the fact, she put in $7.52. So I said, "No, ma'am, $7.62. She looked at me and said, "$7.62, right?" And I said, "Yes." She chuckled to herself and repeated it 2 more times before I could even pay her the $3 in cash and have her charge my DoorDash card for the rest of the money. I have never in my life felt so humiliated. There was a man behind me that literally walked up as soon as I left and said, "Can you put $30 on pump 7, y'all?" And I was so humiliated because it's like, why the fuck are you making all of these faces? Why the fuck are you speaking to me over the speaker loud as shit, putting $7.62? Like, it's not that fucking hard. You can't hear $7.62. So I literally left Kroger. Well, I left the gas station after I went back and asked her for her name. And I asked for a card. And she said, no, but if it's that serious, you can go to customer service. I said, that's fine. Then she said, I don't care. Do what you want. So I got in my car and I pulled up to Kroger customer service. Her name is Keena, by the way. So I went inside of Kroger and I asked for a manager. Mind you, by this time I am in tears because I feel so humiliated. Like, y'all, I get it, okay? I get it. Like, I understand $7.62 is kind of crazy. But can you judge me? Like, can you? Like, are you God? Like, you don't understand what I'm going through right now, okay? Every day I get up and I try my best, y'all. I just started getting sleep because I would get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and wake up by 7 o'clock to be out the door and door dashing until 6 o'clock p.m., y'all. And I would take breaks in the middle of the day because I know my baby gets hot and gets uncomfortable. My AC doesn't work. Like, y'all, it's so much going on and all I'm doing is try my best. And the fact that I was humiliated, bro, I have never in my life felt that kind of humiliation from somebody who's supposed to be working. Like, you're at your job and you're purposely making faces at me, laughing at me, saying slick comments to me just to make me feel some type of way. And I still kept it cute. I still walked away from the situation to go file a complaint the professional way. So, boom, I went to file a complaint and Lady Lynn is talking about some fucking, after I told her the story, and I'm literally bawling my eyes out throughout the entire process because I feel so humiliated. I tell her and she's like, oh, well, I would definitely have a talk with her. And I'm like, well, I would like to file a complaint, like a written complaint. And she was like, well, I'll make sure I have a word with her. What? So I walked away and I just called Kroger customer service line to speak to someone in HR and file a written complaint the proper way. And they did give me some credits on my account, but I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I do not ever in my life want to shop at Kroger again. I refuse to support a business who has customers and managers that have no empathy, that have no type of sentiment, that don't care what comes out of their mouth. They don't care to make sure a customer is satisfied when they leave the fucking store. Like, it's nothing about this location that made me feel like I was being heard, seen, and understood when I was blatantly disrespected and humiliated in front of other people who don't even fucking know me, bro. So if you're ever in Flowery Branch, in Georgia, do not shop at motherfucking 7380 Spout Springs Road. Don't shop there. Don't go to their gas. Don't do nothing. Because if an incident happens, they're not going to care about it. They're not going to write a complaint. And they're damn sure not going to try to hear you out about it. They might even have...
Where do you think people will get job? We start hearing people are stealing from people because they are working for their company for the longest time. But now one day in the morning, you have to find that somebody is closing their shop. So you have to go home. Look for something else to do. So what if you are depending on only one thing? You had only one skill for something. So you have to close the shop and go home. Look for another job because there's nothing to do in America today because America have been depending on people, black people have been depending on us for a long time. Right now they're crying because they have nothing to offer, because they have nothing to offer the people of America. Because America were cheering up, were happy because they're having that the Trump was going to give them space to work, sending off the whites, the blacks back to the home. But now blacks are welcome home very well. Come back home to your place where you are born, your homeland, your motherland. So right now Kroger is closing because they are lacking things to tell the people, because people are going there to shop. There's no grocery in the shops. The shelves are empty because there are no products in the whole country. MAGA have been crying for a long time. Nebraska, Florida have been crying because they want only one thing: people to work for them, but there's no labor to work in America anymore.
I had an interview at Sephora and the lady told me over 200 people have applied for a part-time position and she hasn't even checked it recently. The last time she checked, 200 people. Over. How am I supposed to get a job in this economy when 200 people are applying for a part-time position? She's like, yeah, I still have to do some more interviews this week and check out who applied. No. Hire me. 2 girls in there literally thought I was already working. They came and asked for my help.
Kroger had called us heroes, but I've always felt like they treat us like we're zeros.
Another Kroger-owned chain is closing 2 locations after Seattle passed a hazard pay mandate for grocery employees. Seattle City Council passing a new law requiring an extra $4 in hazard pay for grocery workers.
It's an intimidation tactic to prevent other cities and municipalities from passing such hazard pay ordinance.
That $4 an hour is a safety net and a buffer between me and homelessness, truly.
Most of my fellow employees feel intimidated and scared that they shouldn't speak up. They're afraid that we might receive some sort of retaliation.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to transfer. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stay in my own department.
Rodney McMillan, I just want you to know that you can't intimidate and you can't bully us. We're a proud family and we stick together.
What Kroger did today left everyone speechless. In the middle of an ICE operation, with border patrols patrolling the parking lot and migrants running in all directions, something happened that no one expected. The doors of a Kroger supermarket flew open. Men, women, and children rushed in, while outside the agents approached. Kroger closed the doors, not to prevent the entry of customers, but to prevent the entry of migration. Yes, the company decided to protect every person inside. No one was arrested, nobody was handed over. The workers at the site, witnesses of everything, say that it was like a scene from a movie, an act of bravery, of humanity, of those things that are not forgotten. In times where fear is felt around every corner, there are those who are willing to stand on the right side of history. And today, Kroger got a 10. These actions must also be counted. Share this news so that the world sees that there are still people with the courage to protect.